And welcome to the market alert for Tuesday the 15th of March 2016. And as I said in Monday's market alert, we could expect the market to be fairly quiet, and it certainly was in the first part of the session. As I said in my email, I did the first trade and then stood aside. It was just painful to watch this market trying to even just come up with a 50-point move. And then we saw the market move sideways. Eventually it moved up another 50 points, and then again a bit later in the evening, but it was just too quiet. And again, the backdrop to it is the market's waiting for, well, it was waiting for the Japanese to see what they were going to do with their rates. They left them unchanged, by the way, early hours of this morning. And of course the US's Federal Reserve, Yellen, is what's actually keeping this market quiet at the moment. So the market moved up, and then since then it's actually come all the way back down. So the market undecided about what to do at the moment, which you'd expect. And again, we can expect another day of this. You can see how narrow the range was yesterday. Today, the same. We do have some news, though. At 12:30, there's quite a bit out there for the US. Core retail sales, which will be interesting. PPI as well. And core PPI, Empire State Manufacturing. Notice they're all negative as well. The actual forecasts are negative when the previous ones were positive, apart from the Empire State Manufacturing Index as well. So the market is stuck levitating at the moment, very low volume. And again, like I said before, once we get this week out of the way, then wait for the carnage, because there's nothing to actually look forward to. The implied volatility at 14, this is great. The lower the better with this figure. The more we can get this down to these sort of between 10 and 15%, the better. Around 12 would be ideal, and again today will help enormously with that as we wait for the Fed's decision on interest rates tomorrow. And speaking of the Fed, I'll just leave this with you. We've got news that's come to light that the former Dallas Fed Richard Fisher, said we injected the economy with cocaine and heroin. He actually said this live on CNBC, too much aghast to the interviewers, and laughed about it and said that the economy was now, we pumped it with cocaine and heroin and now we're maintaining it on Ritalin. And this is exactly what I've said for the last 8 years. It's interesting that now he's come out and said this as well. Also mentioned it a few weeks ago in the market alert that this is precisely, they keep injecting heroin into the markets, but unfortunately the effects are becoming less and less the more they do it. So it's interesting that he should use this analogy as well, but there you go. I just find it astonishing. So no doubt he's off to get a cushy job in a bank when he leaves the Fed, or if he hasn't already left, which is probably why he's talking now, the same as Mervyn King the other day, saying that the European Union was a complete and utter disaster and is going to collapse. It's interesting how the central bankers are quite happy to say these things once they've left office, but daren't say it when they're in office. So again, no surprise really. Bernanke saying the same, and also Greenspan. So like I say, when they're in the job, it's all a pack of lies, smoke and mirrors, and then when they leave, they know that the grand experiment of QE that they've tried to turn the economy around with has only looked after their friends on Wall Street and not the public at large. Right, that's it for today. Brief to the point. I will see you in tomorrow's. Again, one day closer now to probably a non-event. But the good thing is that once it's out of the way, then the market can resume to the downside. Watch the oil price. Watch a few banks start to make a few murmurings. Peabody Energy, and I wouldn't be surprised if Deutsche Bank doesn't come out with something as well. As at the moment it's looking for JP Morgan and Citibank to take $1 trillion of their derivatives off them. They've only got another 69 trillion to sell to somebody else, but there you go. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. So have a good day. As ever, thanks for your support. If it's quiet, you might want to stand aside, as I did yesterday after the first trade, because the market losing the momentum. Right, that's it. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.